What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's honestly crazy to see how many people are packing up and leaving America right now. Folks are realizing that this so-called American dream has turned into survival mode. Everything is expensive: rent, food, bills, and people are working non-stop just to stay broke. And on top of that, with Trump, coming back like some dictator, it's no wonder why people are saying, yeah, I am out, right? And what's even deeper is that people are not just leaving because they hate the country. They're leaving because they finally see that the system was never built for them to thrive, just to keep them working. And you can only chase stability for so long until you start to ask, is this really worth it? Anyways, credit goes to the original creators. Thank you so much for tapping in when you saw this video. Let's watch and we'll be back with some commentary.
Healthcare costs more than human life. Rent is higher than everyone's sanity. Everyone is armed and no one feels safe. Work is a religion and burnout is a badge of honor. The severe control over women's rights. The food is full of chemicals. Police brutality is out of control. College costs more than a mortgage and does not guarantee a job at all. The corruption is more deep and ingrained into the entire international political community than anyone can understand. And lastly, number 10, I have free will and I get to choose where I go and how I want to live my life.
Americans have started to leave the US because of the rise of authoritarianism. And this is something that should absolutely not be taken lightly. I literally saw a report this morning from Australia talking about how they have some applications from this year of people seeking human rights shelter because they are scared of what's going to happen to them. They want to have a backup plan if things go to shit so they can go to Australia and get a visa. And that's absolutely nothing new. Canada has also opened up a program to Americans that may potentially want to leave the country as a sort of political refugee. While that might sound crazy, we are absolutely entering into an era where this is something that people are starting to consider. And even some professors at Yale and other colleges in the US who teach about the rise of authoritarianism and fascism have left the US or have at least started to make plans to leave. And if that's not a wake-up call to other Americans to rally together to join the fight, I don't know what is. The president should not be able to send armed troops to terrorize American citizens. People should not be able to be kidnapped regardless of whether they're foreign born or American born, nor should they disappear. So I would really look long and hard into your decision to be apolitical right now because things are changing rapidly in a very bad direction.
As soon as I can leave America, I'm gone for good, because why did I meet somebody from Germany through TikTok, and we're best friends, we talk every single day now, and they're living a whole different lifestyle than we are. So starting off, they really care about their citizens. You get free healthcare, free education, you get 4 weeks of paid vacation, no matter what kind of job you work. You can be a gas station worker, you can be somebody picking up trash from the streets. It doesn't matter. You get 4 weeks of paid vacation across the board, standard. Public transportation is really affordable and accessible. My friend, he takes a train from, his house to his job every single day, and he pays $5 a month for that. That does not exist over here at all. He does have a car, but he's only 17, so he can't drive until he's 18. But he does pay for car insurance because he has a permit. And for full coverage, I pay $500 a month for reference. Before I crashed my car, I was paying like $350, and I didn't have tickets or anything. Like, I had a clean record, and I was paying $350 for full coverage every single month. He has a full coverage insurance over there. He pays $100 a year. 17 years old, he's a boy. $100 a year. Basic necessities over there, like shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, things like that, less than $1. Pharmaceutical drugs are really cheap because they don't care about, profiting off of sick people. They actually want you to be healthy, alive, and well. That does not exist over here. There are so many more things. And of course, they have bad weather and they do have high taxes. But I would rather pay for high taxes and have shitty weather than be a broke-ass bitch with good weather, because I'm literally living paycheck to paycheck over here. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I work too fucking hard to barely have anything. And I'm tired of it, honestly. And if you're from Germany and there's some things that I'm like unaware of or I'm naive about, like, please bring that to my attention, because I don't live there. I don't know what goes down, and I would like to know the good and the bad. But I'm sold. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. I'm tired of being a slave. I am, bro.
The first few months of 2025 alone, the amount of people that just said, I'm done, and moved abroad doubled from the year before. That's not just a blip, okay? That's a wave. So why? Same reasons you and I complain about every day. Cost of living going through the roof, political chaos that never seems to end, and the fear of safety even when you're just going to the grocery store. But here's the thing, it's not just dreamers or millionaires doing it. It's normal people. It's people with families. It's young people, old people, retirees, people who are working remote. One common thread holding all of these people together is they just want a dignified life. That's why you're seeing places like Greece, Spain, France, Portugal. Their cafes are filling up with Americans who are just done. People love to scream, if you don't like it, leave. Well, we are, thousands and thousands of us. We will be joining that wave soon, and we can't wait. At the end of the day, people like us just want to make life work. And if we think that we can do that better outside of this country, then who's to say we can't?
I'm a real estate agent in Costa Rica. I help foreigners move abroad, move to Costa Rica, and make a life here. I've been getting a ton of stories from clients who are absolutely spent. I'm working with a psychiatrist who helps teenagers. And when I asked her why she wants to move to Costa Rica, she said, it's because I have lost all hope. My patients have lost hope. And what's worse is I have lost hope too. And how can I possibly be of service to someone else if I don't believe it's not going to get any better? So what she is doing is saving herself, packing up her bags, and moving abroad. This is where we are.
Have y'all seen the clip of Z-Way interviewing Roy Woods Jr. and she asked him if he has a message to the youth and he said, get out of the United States?
What encouragement do you have for America's youth?
Leave.
Oh, please.
Leave. America is one big homeowners association. You can't even go to Canada because that's about to be America too. So you got to find somewhere else to go for a little while and give it a generation.
Thanks for those words.
I don't say that to be pessimistic. I say it to hopefully activate people into seeing what's going on.
You literally told the nation's youth that they should leave and flee the country.
They should. They should.
So I left the United States in 2015 on a one-way ticket a month after Sandra Bland. If you don't know who Sandra Bland is, shame on you. Google her. Now, I was 28 when I left the United States. But my goodness, if I had known then what it is that I know now, I would have left sooner. I would have got my little degree and left, or I would have got my degree abroad and stayed. And I don't take the journey lightly. I always say I don't think it's for everybody. If you ain't never left your city, if you ain't never left your state, if you ain't never left your parents' house, if you didn't even go away to school, the likelihood that moving abroad is going to work for you might be slim to none. But if you're somebody who got your wits about you and you're daring to try at this life, moving out of the United States is going to alert that third eye that everything that you've been taught within the walls of the U.S. is a lie. All that hustle and bustle, working 3 jobs to pay 1 rent, $300, $400 car insurance, $12 eggs. And everybody thinks that you need a degree or you need to find a remote job. No. What are your skills? Do you do hair? Can you braid? Are you a therapist? Do you whip that work in the kitchen and can sell food that remind people of home? Are you a nail tech? Are you a photographer? The world is absolutely your oyster and people are looking to pay you for your skills. And guess who's hosting a webinar to talk about living abroad, moving abroad, and answering everybody's questions? Go ahead and head to my bio because the date and time of the webinar is going to be sent out tomorrow. Run, friend. Don't walk.
There's no support from the government. There's no support from our neighbors because we don't know them. Our families are broken, so we have no one to fall back to. It just feels hopeless for a lot of people. So of course, there's a natural feeling that I want to go find my peace, my happy life, wherever I can. And it doesn't feel like we can have that in America for a lot of us. And that's why you're seeing people all over TikTok, all over YouTube say that they're leaving the country. They want to leave the country and just go. You know, they don't care what the destination is. They just want to go. I think that this is actually something that really hits to the core of our American past, to actually, go forth and find your place in the world. And I don't begrudge anybody, nor should you, who is pursuing that kind of peace in their life.
So in 2013, my husband and I moved to New Zealand from the United States. We weren't even considering moving to New Zealand. It was almost an accident. We had come to New Zealand on a holiday a year prior, and we were not thinking about moving here at all. And once we learned about the country, the fact that there's guaranteed health care, guaranteed vacation time, 4 weeks a year, guaranteed sick time, 20 free daycare hours per week for children ages 3 to 5, very, very, very low prevalence of pew-pews. The last school pew-pewing was in 1923, not 2023, 1923. And also other things. Once we learned about that, it really popped our American exceptionalism bubble. We grappled with, should we move Or will things get better? Now, this was 2013. So this was before the 2016 election. This was before he ever ran. This was before Bernie Sanders even blew onto the national scene. And we had this sneaking suspicion that even with a change in administration, things were not going to get better. Even if we had moved states, it still wasn't going to get better. Even if he was out tomorrow and things went back to normal still wasn't good enough in America for us and for a lot of people. You have to really study how other first world countries operate and how other countries prioritize their tax dollars to actually help their citizens and support their citizens. And they don't see it as a handout. They see it as everyone's paid into this big pot of taxpayer money, and so everybody needs to get something out of it, like healthcare, like paid maternity leave. New Zealand has 6 months paid maternity leave, even if you're self-employed. If you're on the fence and you're thinking, I don't know if I want to move, but I don't know if I want to stay, I don't think that's the right question. I think you need to ask yourself, are things going to get better tomorrow if he's gone? Are things going to get better with the next administration so that America matches the rest of the world in what they offer their citizens? And when I asked myself that question, the answer was no. And that helped my decision to leave.
I just watched a video about how this woman refinanced her home and how basically she is going to owe way more money than she already owed. Even though her payments are getting lowered, she's still going to owe more money, and talking about how it's such a scam. Yeah, pretty much everything in America is a scam. So health insurance, we pay $500 a month for health insurance, all right? But then you have a deductible. Some things apply to the deductible, some things don't. You have a copay every time that you go, but there's like a max allotted copay. So mine is $2,000 per person, but like a family max, I think of $5,000 or something like that. Anyway, so I pay $25, when I go see a regular doctor, $50 if it's a specialist, $25 like for my therapy. But if I hit that $2,000 out of pocket, then they cover everything, all right? So you're telling me I pay $500 a month, and then I have a $2,000 out of pocket pay, and then you'll cover everything at 100% as long as it's covered. But that doesn't apply to prescription medication. That only applies to like doctor's visits and things like that. Don't get me wrong, I have pretty good insurance, and I'm very privileged to have insurance, especially in America, but that's insane. That's crazy. Everything is a scam in America, and the new American dream is to leave.
Here are countries you can move to fast if America falls apart tomorrow. Save this. Make sure you save this. You might actually want to download again, like I said before, just in case TikTok magically disappears again. This series is about quick migration routes for survival. If you need speed over perfection, these are the best bets. Mexico. You can walk across the border. You'll have 180 days visa-free. It's low cost, easy rentals, and flights out if you need to pivot to somewhere else. Portugal. They love digital nomads. Visa turnaround can be weeks or not years. It can take weeks, but it's safe, affordable, and English friendly. Ecuador. They have open doors, cheap cost of living, and residency visas are straightforward to get. Panama, they have their friendly nation visa. It makes it easy for Americans with solid banking and stability. Ireland, if you have ancestry, you can fast track citizenship. No hoops. All you need to do is provide the proof. This isn't about paradise. It's about safety, speed, and you setting up your plan B. So have you begun planning? What country are you planning for to escape to, just in case shit hits the fan?
The American dream is to leave. The American dream is to feel safe when you're in a public space and not have to scan for the exits everywhere you go, even at the grocery store. The American dream is to be able to eat real food. The American dream is to be able to afford food that is good for you and healthy and not have to pay an arm and a leg for the Whole Foods. The American dream is to have health care, to not even have medical bankruptcy as an option. The American dream is to live somewhere where you work to live not live to work, where you actually have vacation days, and if you're sick, you can call in sick and it doesn't count against you. The American dream is to live somewhere where being told that this is the greatest country in the world and everywhere else is unsafe and scary isn't shoved down your throat since you're in kindergarten. The American dream is to leave.
Oh, I'll absolutely fight, but I won't stay. There's one thing and one thing only that the U.S. understands intimately and unequivocally, and that is money. So, I plan to withdraw my money. So how do I do that? Liquidate all my assets, remove them completely from the American system, limit my taxes paid to essentially nothing, then have all my normal expenses go into an economy that is outside of the U.S. That means I'll continue to suck money out of the system and spend it elsewhere. No, they won't like that. No country does. But the more of us do it, the more they feel the pain. The more the economy suffers suffocation. That's the plan. See, I'm no activist. I don't own pew-pews. I have no plans of fighting law enforcement or the government physically. But I'm pretty good with this, because boycotts work. Boycotting companies specifically. But in my mind, a boycott of a nation is more powerful, especially when I can continue to vote in elections if we ever have them again. So everyone will have to decide how they're gonna fight. But if I'm honest, I don't see a whole lot of people fighting. Because let's be honest, protests don't work. Now if we're talking walkouts, blocking roads, disrupting business and the economy, that's a way to fight. I don't see that yet. Maybe the stay and fight crowd will get there. Maybe not, but I don't plan to be here to find out. Hope it helps. For starters, Trevor, 30,000 people on this account and they all know. But it's not about me leaving. It's about the collective. As you saw in the comments of this video, I'm not the only one leaving. Currently, there's an estimated 9 million Americans that are out of here. No more spending in the US, and that shows up in lower consumption data. The GDP is a huge number, agreed, but it's still sensitive to who spends and where. Now, did you know the top 10% of Americans actually drive 50% of consumer spending? That's roughly a third of all GDP. And those people don't pay taxes. They're the ones with the fancy lawyers clearing all the loopholes. But all those upper middle class folks who are leaving, now they did pay taxes. But do they now? Not really. It's called foreign earned income exclusion. It's one of those loopholes. So what's the point? Average Americans taking their money elsewhere does affect the US economy. It does affect the US tax system. Now, I didn't even get into how many of those people are retirees, collecting Social Security, and then spending that money outside the US also. See, wealth in America will always bring power. But the most power will always lie with the middle class because they have numbers. And they're the ones who foot the bill for all government spending. Which is why boycotts work and why boycotting a nation will have an impact. Hope it helps.
We are leaving the US. We are leaving the US for good. We are moving back to India. I've got so many comments, so many DMs, and the number one question is, why are we leaving the US? Multiple reasons, number of reasons of why we are leaving. The first reason is the healthcare system here. The healthcare system is terrible. I have been a victim of this healthcare system once when I suffered a loss. When my kids are sick, also I don't have any great experience whenever they are sick. But with my recent husband's diagnosis that he's got, staying in this country would be very difficult for us. It would not do any good to his health condition, and the healthcare system here is the focus is on insurance, the focus is on the deductibles, the out of pocket. Whereas in India, the healthcare system is much better, where the focus is first the patient. The focus is like treatment. Let's first get him better. Let's make him better, and then we will see regarding the insurance and the bills and all of those things. So the accessibility to doctors, the accessibility to specialists without appointments or with appointments, it's much easier. We don't have to worry about which treatment to select versus which we cannot do because the insurance is not covering it. We don't have to worry about meeting the out of pocket, meeting the deductibles. We don't have to worry about the tests that they do. We don't have to worry about how much, which tests the insurance will cover, and all of these things.
So the truth is, America is not what it used to be, right? Or maybe it never really was. People are realizing that peace, safety, and happiness might exist somewhere else, and that is okay, right? Sometimes the real dream isn't, just owning a house in America. It's actually just being able to breathe without drowning in bills. So, yeah, I don't blame anyone who's leaving. If you've ever thought about it, where would you move to? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Credit Goes Sold, the original creators. Quick disclaimer, this is just for education and commentary. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and as usual, I'll see you on my next one.